And we are live on a Saturday morning. What is going on, good people? It is me, Chavez, and I am back. Together, we are back for another day, another Saturday player prop talk here on a Saturday morning. First time we've done this specific to NBA ever. We did a Super Bowl Saturday edition, and that was about it. We typically don't run streams on the weekend, but we do this weekend. We probably will moving forward. So appreciate y'all being here on a Saturday morning. Welcome to the stream. Oh man, hope everybody's doing well. I hope this finds you all in good spirits. Nothing changes with the format today. Maybe a little shorter of a stream. It is the weekend and whatnot, but nothing changes with our format. So we're still covering all the same things that we cover in our typical live streams, just doing it on a Saturday morning versus Monday through Thursday. What is going on, Knuckles? Ruben, what's up? Money don't sleep. What is going on, Divine? Adam, good morning. Happy Saturday to you as well. We'll get to the comments. We'll get to the turds of the day. We'll get to plays of the day. We'll get to how our protected slips did yesterday. How your protected slip did. Did you profit? Did it get credited back to you in promo funds? How does that typically go for y'all? What kind of ROI do y'all get on Fridays? All right, let's do this. Let's get into our turds of the day. Before we get into that, hashtag blessed. As you all know, over 10% of the U.S. population dies in their sleep. I don't know what they die of. Maybe natural causes. Maybe they'll be featured on a murder documentary within the next 5 years. I don't know, but they're not here. So you're on the other side of that 10%. You are off to a great start today. Very morbid way to begin the stream. Promise you, it only goes up from here. All right, let's talk about turds of the day. Who has a turd of the day? I got one. I'll kick things off. Colin Sexton was a turd of the day yesterday after getting that value locked in at 21.5 points. I was feeling really good about that one. Then to see it bumped up to 22 and eventually bumped up to 23. Well, I felt real good about that one, only to have him hook. That was pretty painful to watch. Bryce Sensabaugh. What's a Bryce Sensabaugh? I think he played for Charlotte last season. Bryce Sensabaugh comes in. 14 points for that guy off the bench. I don't even know if he was off the bench. I don't think he started. Took 9 shots yesterday. Could Colin Sexton get one of those shots? Could he get me 23 points and get me the over on that one? That was definitely my turd of the day. No doubt. Divine says Jokic assist cost him 3. Wow. Cost you 2K. Damn. We talked about that yesterday. His triple-double is always in play, but he can't get triple-doubles without the assist. His assists were also in a good spot at 8.5. Yeah, Jokic, the Nuggets are really just a weird team to target sometimes. They win games, but they don't always win them the way you think they should win. Jamal Murray, 15 points. The dude had 10 rebounds. The guy had more rebounds and more assists than Jokic yesterday. Like, when does that ever happen? Not very often. So yesterday was weird, focusing on the Nuggets. Knuckle says his are still going. Got a tennis game. Got rained out. Ruben did really well yesterday on Hard Rock. What's going on, JR? All the way from North Kakalaki. I don't know. I heard that on a wrestling old WCW when Hurricane Helms. Is it Hurricane Helmsley? Hurricane Helms? He was not Hurricane Helms. He was just his normal name in WCW. And he would always come out talking about North Kakalaki. And I was like, what the hell is North Kakalaki? and I had to look it up. So apparently that's what North Carolina is to some people. Maybe it wasn't Hurricane Helms. There was another guy. Maybe it was his tag team partner before they went into like their WWE days. But I remember that. As a teenager. I didn't even keep scrolling. What's going on, Super? Good morning. Peace and blessings to all, no doubt. Dalton, oh really, Knuckles? Dalton, his points, right? We were looking at his points yesterday. Oh yeah, WCW, man. WCW. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up where I heard that from, but it was definitely in a WCW promo. And I want to say it was just like a tag team. They were talking about how we do things in North Kakalaki. I was like, what the fuck is that? I learned a great deal about life from wrestling. I'll tell you that shit. Before there was reality TV and YouTube and everything, wrestling was your everything. All right. Turd of the day, we got Dalton from Tennessee. I'm going with Sexton as my turd of the day. Jokic is getting some votes in there as well. Man. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to injury news today. So Sengun is out for the rest of the year. We talked about this yesterday. I wish they would just leave players off the injury report that have already been ruled out. Like once you're ruled out for the season, like you typically don't come back from that. So you don't have to keep putting them as out. Like they're just done. Like Sadiq Bey, he's done for the year. Sengun is done for the regular season. Whitmore's out. Stevens is out. Lyles is out. White is doubtful. Grant, Walker, Williams, Tyus Jones, all doubtful. Probable AD, Anthony Simons, questionable. LeBron James, I think Curry plays today. I think I saw a report that he is scheduled to play today. Draymond Green is questionable. Bane, this is the second time Desmond Bane has been on the questionable list, so he must be very close to returning. Although I don't know why you would bring him back for the rest of this shitty year. Maybe he just needs to like get back into the flow of things, maybe more of a rehab type of thing. Triple J is also questionable. That's a long list of Q tags. I'm not reading all those names. You can see for yourself. There's a lot of names right there going on in the NBA. Saturdays are very wonky. Injuries, you don't even have to be injured to be scratched from a game. You'll see it at some point today. Out of nowhere, players will just get ruled out. Players that aren't even on this list. So be careful building out your slips. I usually play pretty light on Saturdays. I feel like, honestly, Saturday is the there's a little bit of fuck it going on Saturday. Like a lot of players are probably just like, fuck it. Let's just take an extra day off, recover. I feel like that's a thing in the NBA. So just be careful building out your slips. Don't go too hard. Unless you have that kind of money to burn through, then by all means, go ham. All right. Injury news done. Turds of the day done. Hashtag blessed, as always. And we move on to our plays for today, Saturday, March 16th, 2024. We talk plays on PrizePicks, Underdog, Jock Market, Sleeper. Wherever you play, we can look up your player props on props.cash. Props.cash is what we use every single live stream to research and break down player props. If you've never seen props.cash before, then we're about to use it in real time, so you get to see it for yourself. My promo code is thanks25. If you have any interest in using it, taking it out for a spin, use my code. That'll get you 25% off your first month. And if you like it, then keep using it. If not, then you tried it, wasn't for you, and you move on. So we move on to the PrizePicks dashboard, and that's what we'll pull up first. Make sure I have it up on the screen, and I do. And magic. Ta-da. All right. Let's get this going. Oh, Divine says, I watched Anthony Joshua fight a Mexican years ago. That guy got whooped. Yeah, Joshua and was it Ruiz? I don't know if I can't remember his last name was Ruiz. Kind of chubby dude, chubby Mexican fighter. He just beat the shit out of Joshua. Joshua came in there and just took the fight way too lightly. I think he was like, I think the odds were like the Tyson Buster Douglas fight. Were like, oh yeah, Tyson's gonna win that fight. It was very similar to that fight where Joshua just came in and took him like too lightly. I think he even came out and admitted his training wasn't where it needed to be because he thought he could just go in there and like have his way. And then the second fight, Joshua whooped his ass. He took it for real, and that was the end of that. But every dog has his day, especially especially in fighting. Any combat sport, every dog has his day. It only takes one punch. You don't even have to be good. You just be faster or luckier. That's it. One punch. The $1 million punch. Yeah. All right. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. 19 viewers on the stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button on your way in. Or if this is not your thing, hit it on your way out. Have a great day. All right, let's scroll up. Let's see if we got any player props that I missed at the very, very top of this chat. All right. Knuckles says, only 2 of us ready to get that money. Oh, the first 2 in the chat. Love that. Early bird gets the worm. I believe that. I don't know about the worm, but I believe the early bird gets more. You get up early. You set yourself up to do a lot more shit. Don't hit snooze. Get up. Get shit done. Take a nap later if you have to. I think there's like this big energy pool in the world that we all swim in. And the sooner you get up and jump in that shit, the more energy you get to like have to yourself before everybody else starts getting in there. Case in point, I went to a Starbucks drive-thru really early in the morning one morning, 5 a.m. I was the first car in the drive-thru. I was like, damn, I got up super early. I'm first one here. This shit's all mine, right? Next day, I get there at 8 o'clock. Shit wrapped around the parking lot because that's when everybody else gets up and you're sharing all that energy with all these other fools. And I was like, damn, I like that. Get up early, get shit done, get your money, whatever you do. All right, let's get this going. So I see Divine. Divine, did you have a first? Divine's usually the first prop in the chat. We'll scroll back up. I don't see a prop from you yet, man. So let me just keep scrolling. Kaminga, first quarter assist. Now, Ruben, you play on Hard Rock. So sometimes those first quarter props aren't available on PrizePicks. But if any of you have options to play on books, I don't. And as you can see on PrizePicks, there's no first quarter player prop category yet. If you pull up Kaminga's assists for the game today, he doesn't even have an assist prop. Well, he does. It's at 1.5, but it's a goblin. So goblins really aren't going to stack up like you want them to. You can also find first quarter plays on Underdog. If you guys don't play on Underdog, you should literally play on every player prop pick'em site that you can. I'm not saying be reckless. Just move some money around from your PrizePicks account, but there are just different things you can play on different sites, and you can really find some good value. So Kaminga over on Underdog. So Kaminga on Underdog has a 0.5 first quarter assist prop. So that's what Ruben's playing, except he's playing it on Hard Rock. So that's a good one. Let's just go ahead and select his assist prop, and we can look at it on props.cash, and you can kind of see quarter by quarter what he's been up to. Let's see. Ruben says Steph better play because he has him on a slip. I mean, I saw that he was scheduled to play, so I feel like there's a good shot at him playing today. JR says, play of the day, anything Tar Heel related. just build slips with Tar Heels. Fuck it. Jarius, what's going on? Good morning. I feel like I've not seen you in the chat before, but if you've been in the chat before, welcome back. If it's your first time on the stream, welcome. Kaminga points and assists says looks free. Let's see how free it looks. 20.5. That does look kind of low because we've been getting his points in or around that line, right? Now you're getting points and assists. Knuckles says Jared Allen's dunks. That shit is free. We got a lot of free shit going on. Don't tell PrizePicks. They don't like free. They'll yank that shit off the board. Harrison Ingram. JR, you mean Harrison Barnes? Oh, is that a college basketball play? My bad. I was like, Harrison Ingram. You mean Harrison Barnes? Can I spell? No, that player is not on PrizePicks. I'm going to look on the underdog. See? You got Harris English, a golfer. Harrison Ingram. Harrison Ingram is on underdog, and you like the over on his rebounds at 8.5. They've been bumped up to 9 on underdog. I don't know why this dude is not on PrizePicks right now. I'm going to take this Kaminga assist prop off because we can look at his other, lines when we're on props.cash. So this is the save room. JR says Fox rebounds and assist is a wagon. Let's see, because hopefully the tread on that wagon is not wearing thin. 9.5. What's going on, DF the God? Look at you. You're already on this De'Aaron Fox. We got him already on the board. That's dope. Got 2 people on this play. Curry assist over 5.5. Let's check that out. So is that 5? You're getting it at 5.5, Ruben? See if I missed anything. All right. No, I don't think I missed anything. All right. So we got almost a full board here. In the Discord, Alien kind of wrote up Andrew Wiggins' points at 11.5. Let's throw him in the mix and let's look at some Warriors plays when we go over to props.cash. So we got Kaminga over points and assists. We can also look at his first quarter 0.5 assist. Jared Allen over dunks. Now the dunk prop, you can actually look at his game logs on PrizePicks now. To me, dunks are just one of those things where if the guy is if he dunks, he dunks, right? Like we've seen guys lay shit up when they should have dunked it. We've seen that happen a lot. Or we've seen dunks get called layups because there wasn't. I don't even know what qualifies as a dunk. Does your wrist need to touch the rim? Like, does there need to be a certain amount of pressure per square inch? I don't know. So we've seen some wonky shit with dunks. But I mean, 5 for 5 in his last 5 games. He's giving you 3 in almost all these games. So, and Houston is lacking a true paint presence right now without Sengun. Tari Eason's out as well. You have what's the cat from Jock Landale? You got Jock Landale in there now running 5. Yeah, that one feels like a solid play. Jared Allen over dunks. De'Aaron Fox rebounds and assists, and we got Curry and Wiggins. All right, let's do this. let's head over to props.cash. We'll start breaking everything down. Again, if you've never seen props.cash before, I feel most of you have, but if you are new to the stream and you don't know what props.cash is, it is a researching site that allows you to dig into player props. And you can compare odds, you can compare game logs, all the splits, percentages against positions and whatnot. So you have a lot of information you can really dig into. Let's start in, I guess we're going to start in Golden State because we do have quite a few players from the Golden State game. Are no players available for this game? What? I wonder why. Well, that would suck because half our board right now is players from that game. All right, we'll come back to that. That sucks. I'm not sure what's going on. And no Sacramento Kings on the board. Do we have injury news out of Sacramento that I missed? What the fuck is going on here? I mean, Kevin Huerter's questionable. Come on, man. They're not holding up the Sacramento stats for Kevin Huerter. Come on, dude. What is this shit? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going on. Why props aren't being released for certain teams like Golden State and Sacramento. Typically, the later games do take longer to release all their information, but you usually don't see player props being hidden from the board. That's stupid. So it is kind of difficult to look up player props when the whole game is not being published on the board. I mean, Curry is questionable, so I don't know. Green is questionable. Curry's questionable. I don't know. Maybe that is enough. Maybe that is enough for these player props sites to not release lines. Let's check out Odd Shopper real quick to see if there are any Warriors and Sacramento Kings that even have lines. So we can actually look. I mean, Kuminga's on underdog, so there should be lines up. Yeah, I mean, there are tons of lines up. I mean, not all of them have good odds or whatever, but there's still like tons of information up. All right, so, well, goddamn. Well, that kind of puts a damper on half our fucking slip here. I guess we literally can't look up anybody from these two games because everybody's from Sacramento game or Golden State game. We got Cleveland and Houston up. We got Brooklyn. Indiana's not up. This is just interesting. Washington, Brooklyn, Indiana's not up. I wonder if honestly these tags have anything to do with that. Like OG's also questionable for the New York Sacramento game. So you have OG in that game. I mean, is Memphis on the board? Because you got quite a few players in that Memphis game. So you notice that it's just OKC players on this shit. So a lot of these books haven't even set lines for some of these players because of the injury list. That's Saturday for you. That's Saturday. That's a terrible start to the fucking day for our stream. Let's see. Yeah, Outlier has them. I'm not sure what's going on with props.cash. Allen dunks gone just that fast. Really? Really? Is it my PrizePicks? Is it my Wi-Fi that's messed up? If you've watched the stream before, you know that my Wi-Fi is not the best. But usually my PrizePicks is not impacted by that. It's usually anything I try to like stream through tabs. I see Jared Allen's dunks up on PrizePicks still. Let's see. Well, then let's look up Fred VanVleet's rebounds, because really, this is ridiculous. All right, Fred VanVleet is a player prop. His rebounds, I did add to a cheat sheet this morning. I did see him at 3.5. I did put it in a slip at 3.5. But on PrizePicks, I want to make sure that it's still at 3.5, because at 4.5, it feels like it's a little juiced up. And I know Sengun's out, but you know, I wouldn't consider Fred VanVleet an elite rebounder. He is projected for 4.83, so he's projected for close to 5, but at 4.5, his rebounds are getting really heavy juice to the under. And that's on PointsBet, BetMGM. Literally all the books don't like it at 4.5. If you can find it at 3.5, like on PrizePicks has it at 3.5, that feels like a pretty solid play. When we bring his line down to 3.5, you can see that he has gone over that in pretty much, I don't want to say every game, because that's obviously not every game, but a 60% hit rate over his last 5 and 10 games is pretty strong, especially when his projections are in alignment with the odds. Versus Cleveland, I mean, he does have 2 back-to-back games, one this season, one late last season, but 8 rebounds. 8 rebounds is a lot, man. I wouldn't expect 8 rebounds from him this game, but we only need 4 to go over 3.5. I think that's definitely in play. The whole Cavs team is out. All right. I'm gonna refresh one more time because all right. I'm still going to try to see if there's any plays from these last 2 games. Again, there's the New York Knicks on the board, but no Sacramento Kings. And then Golden State still not showing any lines. Wow. What's going on, Menace? It's Austin Reeves and D'Lo points. Let's take a look at those. Well, we can't, man. Literally can't, because there's no fucking plays on the board on Props.cash. I feel like sending an aggressively worded email to Props.cash. Like, what is up with y'all, man? How do y'all not have 3 of the games up on the board? Yeah, we can go over NHL, James, for real. Let's do some NHL. Yeah, listen, I know we talk about NBA because that's the major sport, or one of the major sports playing right now. But we talk about NHL here. We talk about MMA, golf. I mean, if you got a player prop, throw it in the chat. Let's see if we can dig it up on Props.cash. LeBron 0.5. What? Oh. Why are they doing that? I don't mind it. I mean, that's obviously a lock, you know. Nice. That's so $25 max on this one. All right. So when they have plays like this, you got a $25 max on your promo. So you can put all 25 on one slip. You can break it up however you want to do it. If there are enough plays on the board, I will put 5 on a 6-man and then put the other 20 on a 2-pick. If there's not enough value, or if there's just not enough plays that I like to build out of flex, I'll just throw it all on a 2-pick. This is better than a taco because obviously the tacos are not guaranteed. But at 0.5 anything, 0.5 rebounds, 0.5 assists, 0.5 points, 0.5 minutes played, that's pretty much a lock. I mean, you can put that in a 2-pick and just make sure that second pick that you're pairing it with is a good one. You can just lock in $75 right there with that 2-pick. James White says Eric Hola demon shots on goal. I heard I don't know who said this. I don't know if they were in the Discord or in the chat, but a lot of these demon plays for NHL are basic. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of these demon plays are their normal lines. And I don't know how true that is. If you're an NHL player, I mean, if you play a lot of NHL props, is that true? Do you find like, okay, this is pretty close to his normal output? Whereas in the NBA, we see some really bad discrepancies with some of these demon lines, making it almost not worth to take the risk. So I'm hearing that the NHL demons are actually a better value than the NBA demons. The NFL demons were amazing. I mean, how many times did we cash out on Amon-Ra St. Brown over 99 receiving yards? Or CD Lamb over 99 receiving yards. That shit was like a given. Those were really fun to play. I don't think we'll be seeing those next year. NBA is a little different though. All right, so his 2.5 shots on goal right now is getting -135 odds to the under. 60% hit rate over his last 10 and 80 over his last 5. Head-to-head not as good. Projected for 1.46. Yeah, the odds at 2.5. But this is his normal line. So this is his normal line, and because it's getting such bad odds, PrizePicks decided to make it a demon because the odds are so in favor of the under. If this was a normal line, you would just play the under on it. So now they're making you play the over on it. But if you have an insider scoop, for some reason, if you feel like, hey, that's still a good value, then you're going to get a payout boost if it hits, because that's the benefit of risking it on a demon play. Is you get the extra funds if it hits. Yesterday I took the over on Franz Wagner Steele's demon prop and that hit, and unfortunately I took the over on our boy Keontae George 3.5 3-pointers made. I wish I would have took the over on his points made at 20, because that demon prop hit. I was very, very close to hitting my protected play for like a 40x. Just that one play cost me. So Eric Holla is 2.5 shots on goal on underdog. It is the same thing. So it is a demon, or their little pepper play, spicy play. I don't know what they're called. It's giving you a 0.5 payout boost. So 1.05 is the line if it hits. So yeah, they are really making you take a risk with this one because the odds do not like this. What's going on, Jim the Judge? Salute to you. Ruben said, are we rolling into MLB after NBA? Yeah. I mean, you mean on the stream? probably not on the stream right now, but overall, I mean, yeah, season wise, yeah. I did a lot of MLB videos last year. We'll do MLB streams this year for sure. Steph Curry demon rebounds. What's going on, John Kozar? How things been pick wise? Picks have been okay. Win some, lose some. Yesterday, underdog picks did not go as planned. We had Bruce Brown going under, which he did, and had Colin Sexton going over his points, which he did not. So up until that point, 3 days out of the last 5 days, underdog plays hit 2-0 in my video plays. Had one bad day on Wednesday where Zion got no assist and Jeremy Grant gets ruled out. So that slip was fucked up. So yeah, you know how it goes. You win some, lose some, you get on streaks, good and bad, and it all just balances out. Glad you're here, man. Went 5 for 6 yesterday. Sexton sold me. See? Sexton is the turd of the hour. Pain, no doubt. Divine says we got to cover NBA good games tonight. I don't know why people give up on NBA like Saturday night, not best games. You don't think tonight has the best games? You think Saturdays in general just aren't the best day for NBA? I mean, there's a ton of games today. Like Saturdays and Sundays, tons of games, right? But again, it is a time where I think players decide they're gonna rest. They're gonna rest out, or you're gonna see some late minute stuff. You're always gonna see late minute scratches on the weekend. Jokic turd. Oh yeah, Jokic was a turd for sure. Because Jamal Murray couldn't make a damn shot. It's like they switched roles yesterday. Jamal Murray took over the boards and assists, and Jokic took over the scoring. Yeah, that LeBron free square is up on the board, everybody. So the Eric Holla play, it is a risk at 2.5 shots on goal. Obviously, if he hits it, you can literally just make this a slip if you wanted to. Look at that shit. These two, I'm not saying you have to play these two in a slip, but what I am saying is just pay attention to the payout boost here. So with these three, oh, sorry, I didn't realize I had all these players in here. So with these 4 players, but with that demon, I don't know if can you combine promos now? I think that was one of the updates where you can combine promos with demons. I think that was one of the updates they made. But if you're able to run this at the 7x on a flex, and then if you ran this in a power play, that is now a 10.5. So there's a bit of a payout boost there. If we take LeBron James out, 5.7x on a 3-pick. Wait. Yeah. And then a 2.5. So like with this particular trio, it's not even worth, honestly, because you're not even getting a payout boost on 2.5 payout boost. I don't even know what that's about. Why would you run that? But I always recommend just moving some players around and just trying to figure out the best payout boost if you're going to play a demon. You can see here it is a 0.25 increase. I figured it'd be more because the odds on this one is they're just not good. -135. Let's find an NBA demon and let's just see what that looks like. So AD over points. See, that gives you a 3.5 payout boost. So I don't know. The NBA demons are a little bit higher in payout than the NHL. How do I feel about the Fred VanVleet boards today at 3.5? I like them. We talked about it a few minutes ago. I did put him on my cheat sheet. I like him. He's getting really good odds at 3.5. He has really good game logs at 3.5. But at 4.5, when that gets bumped up to 4.5, it looks a little different. I would definitely play it now while you can at 3.5. Giddy over PRA. What's going on, TFG? ATM, is that you or is that a different ATM? All right, let's see if we can pull up Giddy over on props.cash. Hey, look at that. We got some, we're in business. We're in business. We got the Golden State LA game up. Maybe they were waiting on the LeBron shit to drop. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know. 25 people on the stream. Thank y'all so much for being here on a Saturday morning. Not the typical schedule, but it is moving forward. We will be streaming on Saturday mornings. Wake and bake and then jump on the live stream and join the chat. Maybe wake and bake means you wake up and bake biscuits. I don't know. Maybe wake and bake means you wake up and go bowling. I don't know. Whatever does you right. All right, let's take a look at we're going to take a look at a lot in the Golden State game. Let's start with Curry's assists because they were at 5 on PrizePicks, and then I think they were showing at 5.5 in other spots. Well, shit. If you happen to get Curry's assist at 4.5, that by far is the best line you're going to find today. We're getting them at 5, so this one's been bumped up. So at 5.5, you can see that the odds are really, really juiced to the under. But 5 is the midpoint, so let's bump that up to 5. He is pushing in in 2 of these games, but he's going over in 4. Projected today for just 4 assists. His numbers against the Lakers are pretty damn good, though. So 5 straight games of going over this. 2 games this year, he is almost double that. 5 is in play. 5 does offer you push. At 5.5, I know he can get it at 5.5, but sometimes people forget that a line's been bumped up 2-3 times and they just think, oh, he can get that, he can get that, he can get that. But it's almost like, why play a prop that's been bumped up 2 or 3 times when you can just go find another prop that's still at his opening line? So at 5, I think it's still in play. At 5.5, I just go play something else. Kuminga's assist at 1.5 is the Goblin. Obviously, 1.5 is better than 2.5. He is projected for 2.46 today. But we were going to look at his first quarter assist. So Jonathan Kuminga, this is against the Lakers. So Jonathan Kuminga has actually gone over this line in 80% of his last 10 games. He's getting you 1 assist in the first quarter. This is playable on underdog. If you don't like playing the first quarter props, I mean, I get it because those are, your window is very small, and you're not talking about a full quarter because most players in the NBA don't play full 12 minutes in the first quarter. So Kuminga is playing 8 minutes in the first quarter, upwards of 9. He's averaging 7.5. So back-to-back games of almost 10 minutes. But 1.5 is, there is no hook on this. You either get it or you don't. You don't get it, there's no sweat, man. So that's, I think this one's in play. If you can find it on underdog, this one's in play. Andrew Wiggins points. So that was another one we wanted to look at because it was mentioned in the Discord. So we take a look at his full game points at 11.5. Back-to-back games of 16 or more. He did hook it in this game. Over his last 10, there's a lot of good production in these games. Curry's been out, so if you wanted to even take it to that point and say, what's it like without Curry in the lineup? Pretty good. I mean, you do have to go back to last season for a few of these games, but the regular season starts here. So he's 50% in 6 games played in without Curry this year, going over 11.5 points. Projected for 12 points. Versus the Lakers, very good numbers. So 2 games this season, he's giving you 20 or more points. Minus 130 odds on this one as well. So you get the odds that support all the other numbers. This is pretty good. If you can get over the fact that it's Andrew Wiggins, and maybe that's like, you don't like that guy or fuck that guy or whatever, but the numbers aren't lying. So either play it or don't. But I think it's in a good spot for the over 12 points. It's going to get bumped up to 12 at some point. Then he'll need 13 at that point. Oh, John Kozar says, why are you liking Fred boards today? I thought you meant, are we liking Fred boards today? Why am I liking Fred VanVleet's boards today? So number one, on PrizePicks, you're getting them at a lower line at 3.5 than it's showing on other books. Other books have this at, well, at least they did earlier. I swear to God, it was at 4.5 on certain books. Then never mind. 3.5 is the line that it's showing everywhere else, and that's where we like it. So minus 130 odds. So number one, you're getting positive odds on a lot of these books. All these books are showing you positive odds to the over. You're getting positive numbers for his projection here. You have back-to-back games against Cleveland, one as a Raptor, one as a Rocket. This is his numbers over the last 10 games. So he's giving you a 60% hit rate over his last 5 and 10 games. Now, there's not a big sample size without Sengun in a lineup, but without Sengun in a lineup, it's going to open up more rebounding opportunities. So again, only 2 games to look at because all these games are as a Raptor, but these 2 games here, he's 1 up and 1 down. He hooked it here. He got over it here. I know Cleveland is a tough team on paper, but it's not like you're never going to grab a rebound against him. You know, he's not guarding Jared Allen. So there are a lot of things to like about that line for Fred VanVleet. But I swear to God, we saw it at 4.5 earlier this morning where I'm seeing things. But at 4.5, I felt like that was a little high. 3.5 is where I see it now. I like it for all those reasons. Jabari over points. I knew there was another Rocket in there that we were missing. So let's take a look at Jabari Smith Jr.'s points. Four out of 5 games, he's gone over this line. And out of his last 10 games, 70% hit rate in his last 10 games. Also, this season, the Rockets have played a bit better at home. They definitely are a home team in terms of how they perform. And these are kind of games where you do want to look at, even though the matchup's not the best, they just play better at home. So Jabari Smith points at 13.5. Is that what it is on PrizePicks? Yep. Not a big sample size without Sengun in the lineup, but it's worth checking out. So I guess a bigger sample size for him. But we do have to go back to last season. So these 3 games here, play without Sengun this year, he's gone over in 2 out of 3. 40 points in these games. He scored a total of 40 points in these 3 games without Sengun. His line today is 13.5. 40 divided by 3 is what? 13.3. So you can see why his game line is really close to what that average is without Sengun. All this shit is for a reason. Like, these numbers aren't just like thrown on the board because that's what PrizePicks thinks. All this shit is already dug into, so they already know what we know. But that's probably a big reason why you're seeing it here based off these 3 games. But it's in play. Projected for I don't know, because for some reason Jabari Smith, a few of these Houston Rockets, their projections never come through. But on DraftKings, you can see that at 14.5, Caesars 14.5. This is going to get bumped up to 14 at some point, and then it'll eventually be bumped up to 14. So 14.5. If you like it at 13.5, don't wait. Just play it now. Play it now. If you want to play it. If you don't, stay away from it. There were some comments about the wake and bake thing. We didn't look up Giddy though. Let's look up Giddy. Literally what I'm doing right now, wake and bake. Nah, we know what wake and bake means. Bake. Nobody's baking croissants right now. Nobody's baking cinnamon rolls. Is that not what we're doing right now? All right, let's take a look at Josh Giddey. What are we looking up for Josh Giddey? PRA. All right, Josh Giddey's PRA. Right now, what we're seeing on the screen is a 21.5 PRA line for Josh Giddey, and that is what it is on PrizePicks. So he has gone 6 games in a row, getting you 22 or more. Pretty impressive, because I don't believe he's getting you 30 minutes in these games. Numbers against Memphis are fairly good. Two games this season where he's gone over before overall. Projected for 25 PRA. Odds are in favor of the over, but not everywhere. So BetMGM and FanDuel are giving you the better odds in favor of the over, but PointsBet is actually liking the under, as is Caesars, and DraftKings is split. Yeah, Josh Giddey is doing so. That's one thing to keep in mind. Josh Giddey is really performing well in limited minutes. So in these games, he is well over a 1 PRA per minute player. In fact, I mean, he's like almost, what's he averaging again? In his last 5, he's averaging 28 PRA. Over 1.1 PRA per minute, right at 1 PRA per minute, over, slightly under. If Josh Giddey's minutes take a hit at some point, do you think he still gets these types of numbers? He's doing it on such a limited run. In the event he only gets you 18, 17 minutes, do you think that there's still that upside? Now, he did get you 19 minutes against Memphis, and he went for 30. He went for 30. I think that was the game. Did he have it all in the first half? Yeah, he pretty much did it all in the first half. 21 PRA in the first half. What players did last game against a certain team isn't necessarily what they'll do in the second game or third game. We know that. But all this looks good for Josh Giddey. My only reservation would be in the event that he doesn't get his full run for whatever reason, it's going to make it harder for him to get the over. But assuming he gets his 25 minutes, assuming he gets his 25, 26 minutes, I think this is in a good spot. No doubt. Let's take a look at that rebounds and assists for De'Aaron Fox now that all this shit's back on the board. All right. Tough matchup versus the Knicks. At least they get to play him at home. 4 straight games of 10 or more over his last 5. That's really impressive. I mean, 90% hit rate, 100% hit rate against them, but this was last season. His odds are in favor of the over. At least they are on PointsBet or FanDuel, but DraftKings also likes it. You can see all the odds here. They're not clean across the board because you're still getting some movement for the under in all these places except FanDuel, but I'm sure we've played odds worse than this, for props worse than this. So projected for 11, odds look good, numbers look good. This is a pace up game for the Knicks. This is a pace down game for the Kings. Yeah, it's still a good spot. All right. He has been a wagon. Who called him a wagon in the chat? I mean, he's been a wagon for sure. So on the season also, he's averaging 9.9. So what we're seeing here over his last 10 and 12 games is a little bit higher than what his season average is. However, 9.9 is roughly 10. So if he just gets you 10, then that's still the over. And it's not some crazy Linsanity type shit he's on right now. And this is kind of what he does throughout the year. So Jim the Just says PrizePicks not even fully opening right now. PrizePicks is going through some shit this week. They pushed out 2 updates this week alone. So that's not because they're introducing new features. There's a lot of bugs that are needing some fixing on the other side. Menace said took the under on Jabari, took the under on his points. James White wants to look at Kelly Oubre props. Jalen Green over 20.5 points. Even if against the Knicks, under on all Fox props. Sorry, still in my bag of feelings about props. Fox did Jim wrong last weekend. So Jim is not ready to extend that olive branch. Let's take a look at some Jalen Green props, and let's take a look at some Kelly Oubre props. Let's clear this right here. Jalen Green, 20 points against Cleveland. And then Oubre let a lot of people down last game. We talk about bounce back. We talk about just going back to a player after they've let you down, and he gets to play his former team, one of his former teams. Although he should be thanking them for trading him to an actual contender. But which Kelly Oubre prop are we looking at today? We got his points. We got his PRA. Points and assists look strong. We'll put that in there for now, and we can take a look at a few on props.cash. Jesus says his PrizePicks has been down for 2 days. Really? Man. Yours too, JR? What the hell, man? Like down as in you can't even like pull the app up, or it's giving you problems once you're on the app? Ain't no cookies baking over here. Ain't no cookies baking over here. Oh, James, you like the over on Ubre's threes? All right. Let's take a look at these then. Let's just go over to props.cash. Let's take a gander at, we'll kick it off with Kelly Oubre. Oh, there's another player prop I wanted to look up since we're going to be in this Charlotte game. Let's look up Oubre first, though. All right, so let's go to last 10 games. Let's decrease that sample size to 10 games. And then let's pull up his three-pointers. So his three-pointers are sitting at 1.5 right now. So pretty much a completely different story being told between the first 5 games of these 10 games and the last 5 games. So first 5 games, you can see that he has just 1 game going over this. And then the last 5 games, he is a 60%. He has a 60% hit rate. The averages aren't too different, though. He does have that 1 game where he got 3. So that does increase the average. He definitely is averaging 1 3-pointer made per game. But in this game, you need 2. Charlotte is giving up a lot of production to those 2 categories, 3-pointers made and the percentage. He is projected for 1.64 today, although the odds do not seem to like the over on this one whatsoever. If you feel so inclined to take Oubre props, you can do what we talked about in different streams and ladder a few player props in different players in different slips. So looking at the over on Kelly Oubre's points, you can start there at 17.5. Although 16.5 is where you would like it. If the points aren't looking good to you, then you can look to his points and assist at 18.5. These are going to give you better odds, as you can see here. So you go with his points at 18.5, and then in a separate slip, you can play his 3-pointers, because if he's knocking down his threes, then that's obviously going to help him get over points. And then with the 3-pointer prop, you're getting the payout boost because it's a demon. You don't have to do that with Kelly Oubre, but if you like a specific player and you like a few of their props, you don't have to choose just one. Play them all in different slips and ladder it to where if they hit one, then the other ones are going to be a part of that. Like if you take a player's under fantasy score or under PRA, you might want to look to take the over on their turnovers in a different slip, because turnovers count against fantasy score. And with PRA, if they're turning the ball over, then they're not doing anything productive and you're not adding to the PRA. There are different ways you can ladder that, but I think his points and assists look pretty strong. So his assist over his last 10 games, he's averaging 2. He's averaging 1.4 in his last 5. He's projected for 2 assists today. So if Kelly Oubre were to go out there and get you 17 points and 2 assists, that's 19 PA. If Kelly Oubre were to go out there and get you 2 threes, that goes into his points, and then you can knock those 2 out like that. It's a favorable matchup against the Hornets, who are coming off a game. So this is the second leg of a back-to-back. Nick Richards was another prop. And looking at his blocks and steals, so this was playable on PrizePicks early this morning when I put him on the cheat sheet. I don't know if he's still up on the board. Let's see. And I need to specify. So his block shots are up there at 1.5. But they took down his points, or excuse me, they took down his blocks and steals. Blocks and steals are getting really good odds here, minus 142 to the over. 3 out of his last 5, 50% out of his last 10 games. Projected for 1.59 blocks and steals. And the 2 books where you did have this on, or the 2 books that did have this up were Caesars and BetMGM, and both of them like the over on this one. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to find it on PrizePicks. If you have underdog access, you can try, let's see. Now it is on underdog, but it is only a 0.9. It is only a 0.9 payout. So they're nerfing this because they feel it's too good of a line. Try looking for it on Jock Market or Hot Streak. But at 1.5, I think this is a good line for Nick Richards today against the 76ers. Jesus says he's been on Sleeper. This is another great reason why it is nice to be on different player prop sites. In the event one of them is not working for you, you have options. Maybe you just get tired of playing on one site and you just need a break. Not all pick'em sites are the same, so it's not the same shit. So if you get tired of one, just go to the other one and then go back. Trey Mann over 20.5 PRA. That's interesting one. So Trey Mann's fantasy points I played yesterday. Now, I don't even know what his fantasy points. They're not even up on the board. Trey Mann's fantasy points are pretty consistent. Let's take a look at his PRA though. We're already in the same game, so let's just take a look at Trey Mann. Now his line is 20.5. He's projected for 18.4. FanDuel has even odds. DraftKings likes the over. Caesars likes the over. Both of them are giving you a little juice to the under. BetMGM likes it. And then PointsBet has it pretty even. So Trey Mann over 20.5 PRA. Over his last 5 games, he only has 2 games. I feel like he was battling an injury. I don't know if it was an elbow or something, but I don't feel like he was 100% in a few of these games. Got it done against Phoenix yesterday. If you can find his fantasy score, check it out. Trey Mann doesn't turn the ball over a lot. I mean, 3 turnovers, and he's not even averaging 3. He's turning it over 3 times in a couple of these games, but he's going to turn it over 1 to 2 times. And his steals and blocks are pretty consistent. So low turnovers, high steals and blocks, that's what you want to see with fantasy score. If you can get his fantasy score in or around that 22, 23.5, 24, maybe, he needs to get you. He needs to get you 10 points, which he's been doing consistently. He's been averaging 10 points in a lot of these games. He grabs you 5 rebounds. All right, that's 16 points. He goes out there and gets you 5 assists. That's 23.5 points. He gets you 2 steals and blocks. That's 29.5 points. He turns the ball over twice. That's 27. Maybe he turns the ball over 3. That's 26. It happens like that. And he's playing good minutes. It's very sneaky the way he gets his fantasy score. But if you can find his fantasy points somewhere, consider those. Good matchup against Philly for him. I think this is a better matchup for him today than it was against the Phoenix Suns yesterday, and he still had a really good fantasy score game yesterday. He had 29 fantasy points yesterday, so not bad. Yeah, I don't mind this one though. I don't mind his PRA. First half PRA could be in play. I played his first half PRA yesterday on underdog at 9.5. I wouldn't touch it at 10.5. He's not going over 10.5. He did these 3 games, sure, but over like the bigger picture, it's not happening often. 9.5 is where you want it. If you can get his first half PRA at 9.5, that is where you want it. And that's going to be in play if you can get it there. Probably going to be 10.5 though, right? Because his full game is 20. So Trey Man over on PrizePicks right now is at 10.5 PRA. I probably wouldn't touch that one. But again, we talk about ladders. So if you really, really are high on his full game PRA, then you play both of these, because if the better he does in the first half, the better he does overall, you would think. I'm looking at Underdog right now. So on Underdog, they don't have his PRA. They have his rebounds and assists at 9. I mean, first half PRA. They have his rebounds and assists at 9. They have his first quarter points at 3. We're spending a lot of time talking about Trey Man, so it's Saturday. Who cares? All right, so his first quarter points could be in play. So yesterday he would have hooked, but the other games, are these his first quarter points for real? No. Yeah. No, these are his first half points, so it's not updating. Never mind. His first quarter points are still in play though. At 3, I like him at 3. That's 1 3-pointer made. I like it. And who's guarding him? Lowry, Maxey. I mean, my tier would be fantasy points, and then his first half or full game PRA, and then I don't know if you want to look at his RA at 9 on Underdog. It's going to give you the best line probably. That also could be in play. 4 assists for Trey Man. I feel like all his lines are just in really good spots on Underdog. Anyway, enough about Trey Man. So let's move on from here. 27 viewers on the stream. Thanks for being here. If you are new to the stream, let me know in the chat. Throw a question in the chat. We'll make sure I get to your question priority. Jesus says Jalen Duren is a dunk machine. I'm taking his dunks every. Jalen Duren is really. He is not having a sophomore slump. That is for damn sure. Jalen Duren is he's a double machine. He's not on the board yet. Are they playing? Pistons are playing today. No. Well, that's why he's not on a board. Is they're not playing today. So I figured that I solved that mystery. Jim says he's gonna try Kelly's threes and PA on 2 different slips. See how that. Let me know how that works out. If it doesn't work out, then you didn't hear it here. You heard it somewhere else. No, you heard it here. I think that's a good strategy. If with the right player props, obviously, if you pick bad lines, I mean, but if you do the research and they look good, they correlate, right? So I feel like it's a sound strategy. Let's see here. What else do we got? What else did I miss? All right. Let's do this. Let's spend a moment over on Odd Shopper and let's see let's just check out the optimizers real quick. Let's check out the optimizer for PrizePicks. Oh man. So top play on the board right now is Aaron Nesmith under his 20.5 PRA. Has an expected win of 57%. Next line is SGA under his 42.5 PRA. Just scrolling down just to show you all the plays that are available. I so badly want to take the under on Colin Sexton, just like out of spite. But it's also grading out well for the under. So this entry builder on Odds Shopper you can literally just generate, and it'll pull up the best 5 plays, and you can throw these in a slip, or you can pick and choose. It'll grade it out from top play to, these are all good, considered good plays, but the top of the top will be at the top. The difference between that and the optimizer picks is that you can actually see all the sports books that are playing a certain player prop. And so it gives you a little bit more information over a player prop. When you have, damn, New Jersey doesn't have shit available. When you have 7, 8, 9 sports books that are all on a certain player prop, it does give you, I guess, more confidence on a player. And usually you're not going to find all the sports books on a certain play, but a good amount. So like, okay, let's pull up this Tyrese Halliburton 11.5 assist prop. So you have all of these pick'em sites / sports books. Pinnacle is regarded as a top book in the world. They're giving us -161 odds to the under, which you're not going to find that on PrizePicks, those types of odds. But when you look at this, you're seeing all the negative odds here. And so this is what's supporting this under. I mean, we can do this for Aaron Nesmith, which was on the Pick'em, the generator. So not as many sports books are on this one, but you're still getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places where this is available, and every single one of them is giving you under. So it does help when you have that additional information, especially if you have access to these sports books. So not only can you play it on PrizePicks, you can go to Hard Rock, you can go to DraftKings, you can go to Pinnacle and play it there as well. But this is a pretty cool table. There's a lot of information going on here, but all of it is useful. What do we want to do with this LeBron James prop? Are y'all putting this in a power, or are y'all just going to throw it in a flex? Like, how do y'all typically play these promos? Anybody betting on Jalen Green points over 20.5? Oh, did we not look at his points? We didn't. What did we do? I got sidetracked, didn't I? My bad, guys. On Saturdays, there's no script. It's just, get it done. Saturdays is a little bit more off the cuff. We did look at Jalen Green's points, right? Without Sengun, we looked at without Sengun. Man, he popped off against Washington. Right? We kind of figured he would, but I didn't see 37 points. I mean, he hit every one of his lines, fantasy, PRA, everything with just points alone. Monster fantasy performance for him, and also 47 PRA. Turnovers super low. He did not contribute any defensive stats. Who gives a shit? When you're scoring 37 points, who gives a shit? So tonight, obviously the matchup versus Cleveland isn't the greatest, but you can't ignore the usage increase. You can't ignore the fact that it is just one less scorer, one less ball handler, one less player out there soaking up usage without Sengun. Just by default, Jalen Green finds himself in a good spot. Rockets do play stronger at home. Doesn't necessarily mean each player plays better at home, but the Rockets as a whole, as a team, do play better at home. And there's still something to play for. I think they're still in the hunt for a play-in spot. So I don't know if that's extra motivation for Jalen Green, but it's hard to not like his upside, and 20.5 is not that high of a number. John says, I always run at least 1-2 leg, thinking the Fred rebound, Eric Hall shots on goal, Jared Allen dunks. Mel, what's going on? Good morning. Happy Saturday to you. I got two man promos. I paired LeBron with okay, you paired it with the dunks. Nice. Let's take a look at Amen Thompson. Amen. 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 You say ants or aunts? You say amen or amen? Or is it omen? All right. Last 5 games, 3 over, giving you 13 or more in those games. And then, I mean, that shit ain't even close. Like, there's no sweat, right? He's just not going over. And these 3 games, it clears it comfortably. Projected for 14 points. So we talk about the usage going up. Sengun not being in there, really, and Cam Whitmore not being in there. You know, they're asking this kid to step up and play a larger role in the offense. He obviously has Ime's trust. Ime doesn't just give minutes to rookies unless they're good ones. So I feel like he's in a good spot today. I feel like his minutes are secure unless he gets into some crazy ass foul trouble. I think his minutes are secure. Three fouls per game. I mean, that's like NBA average. No numbers against the Cavs. That's fine. Again, projected for 14 points. He has 2 lines out there on FanDuel and PointsBet. Pretty even, right? 115, 115, 111, 115. So not the best odds, but definitely not 100% negative odds. I mean, by default, you know he's going to get more run because Sengun and Whitmore are not out there. 3 games played this season without Sengun on the floor. He goes for 20, he goes for 12, he goes for 6. So in those 3 games, he's averaging, or he's getting you a total of 38 points. 38 divided by 3 is what? Almost 13 points a game, like 12.7 or something. I think that's a good spot. You say amen. But John, when you write that, I can read it. It depends on how I read it. So you say, I say amen. But I can read that as, oh, you say amen. So wouldn't it be like, if you say Amen or amen? We're having a fantastic conversation on the pronunciation of Thompson. What's going on, Coach? Good morning. All right. Amen. What's up, Big Icy? Yeah, I think it is amen also. We should ask him. We should ask him. Hey, man, how do you pronounce your name? All right, so we like the over on Amen Thompson's points at 11.5. We also like the over on Green's points. At least I like the over on his points, on Green's points. I feel like Jared Allen should eat today. His point prop was at 17.5. I think it got bumped up to 17.5. He is projected for 18. There's no Sengun. I mean, literally, the Rockets do not have a true center on this team outside of Jock Landale. Like, unless is Boban running minutes out there? Who is he even in Houston anymore? They literally don't have a true center on this team right now. Who is running 5? Or they're just running Jock Landale, and who runs 5 if they go small? Jabari Smith runs 5, I guess. I just feel like Jared Allen should eat. His dunks make sense to me. The 2 dunks for sure. Jared Allen on the road is giving you 17 points in his last 10, 15 in his last 5. Head-to-head on the road, don't really have a game to look at, but just overall against the Rockets, yeah, just one game this season got you 10 points. I'm not ready to say over on his points. I don't know why. I feel like that's one I need to look into a little bit more. What's going on, Damian? Good morning. All right. So who do we just look at? We looked at Jalen Green's points. Talking about laddering Oubre's points and assists, or just points with his threes. Took a look at Trey Mann's PRA. Like his first half RA, or like his first half PRA also, but on Underdog I like his rebounds and assists, unless you can still get it on PrizePicks at the same line. So it is the same line, PrizePicks. So all these lines are the same. So we talked about his assist being in play, we talked about his rebounds being in play, but we also talked about his rebounds and assists being in play. He needs 10 to go over here. He needs 6 and he needs 5. That's 11. So you're getting it at a little bit of a discount together. And then we also talked about his fantasy score, if you can find his fantasy score, because very low turnovers for him. He contributes with steals and blocks, and he just gets you very consistent points, rebounds, and assists. His fantasy points are in play if you can find them. And then I think that was it. That's all we looked at. All right. Oh, that was a good one. Turner's points. So Turner's points, man, I hate when they do this shit. What, I don't even know what his points are. You got demon points and you have goblin points. Dude, what? I'm attempting to look for it on Underdog right now to see if we can get a. We got Trey Turner, season long stats. Talk about those. So 16.5 is what I'm seeing on the Underdog right now. We're getting 18.5 and we're getting 11.5. Let's pull up his demon points. And then we'll look at the 16.5 through that. Maybe this is a spot where we find the discrepancy between the two not that great, and you can look to take a risk with his demon points and collect extra money. What's going on, Gilbert? Welcome in. Double G. CJ McCollum points 15.5. Played this at 16.5 yesterday. Now he went under. He only had 11. So now PrizePicks drops it. Revenge game. He might actually have a gripe here. I think he actually did want to stay in. I think he really wanted to stay in Portland. I think that's where he wanted to be, and then they traded him, and maybe there's some shit there. I don't know, but we'll look at his points. Whatever it takes for you to play with an edge, you know, like whatever you got to tell yourself to get you up for a game. All right, let's start with CJ McCollum. Anybody else from the New Orleans Portland game, throw them in the chat. Since we're already on this game, we can just kind of look through them all together. But CJ McCollum's points are at 15.5. He's gone over this in 3 out of his last 5 versus Portland. Over his last 10, he's gone over this in 4 games. When he goes over, man, he goes over. Usually when he goes over, he's hot from 3. It's early. He's knocking down shots. There's no sweat. He's just on one. And when he goes under, he's struggling from the field, or he's not taking his shots, or he gets kind of phased out. Like, there is no consistency here, right? There is no steady, like, 14, 14, 14, 20, 14. It's like peaks and valleys. No rolling hills. So, depending on what kind of game you think this will be, he is projected for 16 points, which is the over. When we take a look at his odds, you can see that they are even on FanDuel. DraftKings does like the over. Caesars likes the over. BetMGM also likes the over, along with DraftKings, identical odds. PointsBet likes it to both sides. So PointsBet and FanDuel see it the same way. Games played at home. Do we have any home cooking for CJ? Not really. He is averaging 17 points over his last 10 at home, but that is largely due to these monster-ass games. Last 5 look bad. It's hard, right? With Zion healthy and Ingram healthy. You know, it's you got a lot of guys on this team that can kind of take games over. He's one of them. But I feel like he always plays third fiddle on this team. It is worth taking a shot, especially if you look at what his points were yesterday at 16.5. So you're getting a better matchup for him, right? He's not playing, pull that out. He's not playing the Clippers. He's playing the Trailblazers. So bit of a better matchup for him. And you're getting a lower point total. So it's definitely worth taking a shot on the over. You're just not seeing a whole lot that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Unless you're waking in bacon, then you're feeling really fuzzy inside. How do we feel about Curry's points at 25.5? Let's take a look. So first game back from injury, right? Curry off of 8 days rest. Very odd split, but one game this year to look at, and he gave you 25 points. So I'm sure like 8 days was the last time he was hurt. I don't think he just took 8 days off for no damn reason. So only one sample size here. That's pretty cool though, right? I mean, he's hooking it. It's not like he comes out off of like a lengthy absence and he just forgets how to shoot. So at least he's scoring. Over his last 10 games, he's not doing a whole lot though. We've seen a huge drop off in his games. He has 3 good, strong performances, but most of these games, and he's not even touching 20. Last 5, you know, a little bit more of the same. I mean, on the season, he's a 27 point per game cat. So there is some room for some positive regression here. You can take a look at what he's done against the Lakers. He has lit their ass up like the 4th of July. 5 straight games of going over. Yes, these are playoff games, but he's still going over. And then 2 back-to-back games this season where he has gone for 46 and 32. That is 78 points in 2 games versus the Lakers for Steph Curry. I mean, how can you not like his points? I think there are better plays, to be honest with you. At 25.5 points, I think there are better plays to look at. But if you were running like a game stack, oh, for sure. I mean, you put him in a game stack and you correlate it with Draymond and Kuminga. You just kind of try to like hone in on like where that production is going to come from. And I think you got a nice little core if you're going to game stack this. But ISO, I think, you know, I could definitely see him going out there and getting you 23 and having a good game, but just getting you 23. Is LeBron James over 7.5 rebounds a good prop? I hope so, because I grabbed it. I like that. Take action and ask questions later. Let's take a look. If you were strictly going by 10 game logs, then absolutely this is a fantastic prop to take. Obviously, we know more goes into making a decision, but we're off to a good start. Last 10 games against the Golden State Warriors, these are playoff games, but one game this season grabbed you 20 rebounds. Let's look at his last 10 outside of playing Golden State. A little bit of a different story, okay? He's hooking it. He is over, but he is under in a lot of these games, so it doesn't look as strong as the 10 games versus the Warriors. Now, when you look at his 5 and 10 games, his 10 games speak differently. Last 5 games, there's been a little bit more production with the boards. 2 games under, 3 games over. Sacramento, Minnesota, OKC, and then Denver and Sacramento. So the game logs are better over his last 5. Specifically against the Lakers, specifically against the Warriors, he does play well. He is projected for 8.66 rebounds today. And then when you look at the odds, I mean, FanDuel likes the over. DraftKings and PointsBet are split. Caesars likes the under, heavily likes the under. And then BetMGM also likes the under on this one. So the books are a little bit mixed up right now. You're not getting a unanimous sweep here with liking the over on LeBron James rebounds. I wanted to just refresh this real quick. All right. I don't know if this one gets bumped up or not from 7.5. I don't think it'll get bumped up. Hold on a second. My dog was aggressively growling at the window. I don't know if she saw something outside, but she's pretty perceptive and she picks up on shit. So I was like, oh, some motherfucker looking through my window. What's up? But she might have been growling at a squirrel or something. Dogs know shit though, so I trust a dog when they react a certain way. I pay attention to that shit. They're pretty smart creatures. All right, we're gonna look up CJ McCollum's rebounds, right? We looked up his points. We made a case for his points. 3.5? That's not his line. Yeah. 3.5 rebounds for CJ McCollum. So same number for him that we're getting for Fred VanVleet. Yeah, it does sound like a coin flip, Jesus. It kind of does. I mean, you can make a case for LeBron James any game, right? It's difficult when you're getting different. It's difficult when you're seeing game logs against a certain team look good, but overall his last 10 and 5 games not as good. So let's look at CJ McCollum's last 10. He's giving you 4 rebounds in his last 5 and 10 games, and his head-to-head matchup with the Trailblazers over his last 5. This season he hooked it. But his 10-game logs look fantastic. He's projected for 4. You are getting very favorable odds to the over on all 5 of these sports books. I mean, you're really getting everything you want from this line. You're getting good odds, you're getting good game logs, you're getting positive history overall against this team. Projections look good. Last 5 at home, 3 out of 5. Last 10 at home, 70% hit rate. Yeah, I mean, it's a good one. Yeah. I mean, based off what I just saw there, I kind of like that more than the Fred VanVleet rebounds. I like them both, but I mean, yeah, that's also a very good one. Maurice, what's up? Good morning. Let's go. All right, we have Miles Turner. Miles the Burner Turner. So Miles the Burner Turner has a 16.5 point prop on underdog, which is what I'm assuming is his original line. But PrizePicks is only going to give you the option to nerf your pay or boost your pay. 18.5 points or whatever the other one was, 14.5 Goblin. He's only gone over his 16.5 point line in 4 out of his last 10 at home. And 2 out of his last 5 at home. Let's unfilter that. It's 3, and in his last 10 still look pretty bad. So he's hooking it. He's over. He's way under. Miles Turner also will get into foul trouble, which will ruin his upside. I mean, we've seen games where he literally sits the entire second quarter. And the odds of him coming out in the third and fourth quarter, making up ground is really hard, especially when you're not the focal point. So, you know, if Anthony Edwards gets in the foul trouble and then he comes out in the third quarter, you think it's possible he goes out there in the second half and gets you 25 points. That's yeah, that could happen. Miles Turner gets into foul trouble, comes out in the third quarter. He probably picks up another fucking foul in the first 2 minutes. So that is like that is the deal with Miles Turner. But when he's on a roll and he and Halliburton are running pick and roll, that's fun to watch, and it's a good day for him. He's projected for 18 points though. So hey, she'll just hear a voice outside sometimes and fucking start growling. And then I get a little upset because now she's just trying to talk shit. So Brooklyn, one game this year, no games this season. So we don't even need to look at games with Brooklyn because we don't have anything from this year. Look, we're getting positive projections. I think the matchup with Brooklyn is fine. It's not great. The odds are in favor of the over on DraftKings and PointsBet. BetMGM also likes it. Caesars also likes it, but you are getting some juice to the under, so it's not a complete over for a lot of these players, or a lot of these props, or a lot of these books. Oof. I don't know, man. Honestly, his 16.5 points look a little risky, to be honest. But if you're going to play the risk, you should play the risk with the higher reward. So if you're going to play his points, why not just go up to his 18.5 demon points? And because look, in games where he goes over, he's not just stopping at 17, right? He's going in the 20s. So if he gets you 20 points, he's going to get you the over on his goblin or his demon. He will exercise his demon today if he gets you 20 points. So, I mean, it's funny to say. I think there's more risk with the regular line than it is the demon, because again, he's going over. He's not just stopped. Like, none of these games is he giving you 17 or even 18. He's getting you well under or way over. I mean, that to me feels like a line that you could take a shot on and risk it, but also looking at the upside for Miles Turner, there are games where he's getting you 30 points. Anthony Simons under 32.5 PRA. John Collins under 27.5 PRA. Harris under 7.5 rebounds. Hartenstein under 8.5 rebounds. Are you running that slip, Maurice? Is that a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's your 5 pick? Let me throw it up on the screen real quick. Just getting started. Micic demon points look nice if you're looking for a demon. $7.5 for Micic. Let's check it out real quick. Damn, it's already almost 11:30. Woo! I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a minute here. All right, so 7.5 points for. Wait, hold on. That's his goblin. There you go. I was like 7.5 demon. Damn, that's really good. Okay, so 13.5 demon. Gone over 13.5 points in 2-4 of those games. He's gone over his normal line in 70% of these games. His last 5 games, he's averaging 16. So in 3 of those games, he's gone over demon. Matchup with Philly today is it's a good one. I don't think it's like the best, but It's not like they're playing Boston. 14 points is his line today, or is his projection today. So by projection, he's going over line and demon. And then the books do like the over on his normal line of 11.5. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. What is his position? He's a point guard. All right, so Lillard goes over, but it doesn't go over his line, but 17, 20. McBride goes for 13, 19 for Brunson, 20 for Schroeder, 28, 38. I mean, there are some, I mean, obviously this dude's not Luka. You got guys like Dennis Schroeder getting you 20. McBride getting you 13. So there's definitely upside for the Demon. That could be in play. And you're not getting that line super juiced. It is 2 points higher. So what would he need to do? He needs 14 points. So he would need 3 points to go over that. Like from his original line of 12 to 14, he needs 2 points, right? So that's like an extra 3. That's just an extra bucket. I mean, there are a lot of ways that can play out. Yeah, that to me looks like a solid one to throw in a slip. Like if you ran these four, that's a 15x. If you wanted to flex it at the 10x, 10x is what you would get on a 5 pick. You're getting it now on a 4 pick because you have 2 demons in there. You can throw LeBron in there. I don't know if we can do this with a promo, but we could try it. We should be able to put that in there with demons. I don't think that's a rule. But I think it's pretty good fun. All right, let's take a couple more questions. Hit that like button, y'all. I haven't said that in a while. Yeah, hit that like button. 20 viewers on the stream. Hit that like button. Means a ton. All right, what else do we got? We got we're an hour and 54 minutes into the stream. Yeah, we're gonna end it here in a minute or two. Real quick though. Real quick, if you happen to be in a state where PrizePicks is no longer available or Underdog is no longer available, or if your PrizePicks is fucking up and you need and you're mad because you can't play on PrizePicks, I'd be mad too. Let's link up. I got a ton of links that you can use, that you can choose from. If you have access to sports books, I think you should take a shot on one of these links. If you have access to sports books in your state, every single day we look at player props on props.cash. Every single day we review odds on 4 or 5 different sports books. You see the lines differ. You see the percentages differ on these sports books. You know you're not getting the best lines on certain pick'em sites. If you have access and you can play both pick'em and sports books, that to me is a great balance. If you happen to live in a state like mine where you can't play sports books, then you're at the mercy of pick'em sites. So you play multiple pick'em sites so that way you can spread out and find the best lines. But BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365. If you have access to DraftKings Sportsbook and you can play the Pick'em 6 or Pick6, that is very similar to player props. And the lines on Pick6 are not as tough. You find some great under opportunities there. So all these links give you free money, free funds, bonus bets, you name it. I also have links for all the other pick'em sites. You can find all this in my stream description, but this page shows you everything that I offer. So check them out. If you have the time to play on different places, it is definitely in your best interest to just spread out your money. All right, so I actually like this Miles Turner point prop. He either gets it. I mean, look, we looked at his game logs, right? He's either going under or he's going over. But there is no game we saw where he's getting you exactly the over, right? Oh, his line is 16.5. He got you 17. There is no game like that. It's fucking 6 points or it's 25 points for this guy. If he goes for 25, he gets you the over on his demon. How awesome is that? I actually like McCollum's rebounds more than I like his points, but you could still play his points. And this is also a nice demon that we saw that was brought to our attention in the chat by who was that? By Texas Coach. And of course, LeBron James. This is a slam dunk. And I'm pretty sure that if he got hurt and wasn't able to finish, where he didn't score anything, I'm sure PrizePicks would give us that win like they did with the James Harden thing. But that's pretty much a lock. So put that in a slip. Build some bankroll up with that one. All right. Any other player props that you have that you want me to dig into before we dip out and get on with our weekend? I'm gonna have to go outside and investigate what my dog was snarling at. Fantasy scores. Let's take a quick gander at some fantasy scores without doing too much research, trying to find some fantasy scores that maybe look a little underrepresented. Lower fantasy score isn't always better fantasy score, depending on the player. Sometimes they're low for a reason, and you know it, and you just stay away from that shit. Herb Jones, 23.5 fantasy score against the Portland Trailblazers. At first glance, looks like one I want to dig into. Scroll. Fucking Kyle Lowry. If he can actually score points, if this dude could actually score points, he would crush his fantasy score. All these games are him not scoring more than like 6 points. I guess 2 games back to back against New York, not the best matchup. This matchup against Charlotte, though, come on, man. Come on. So there's Trey Mann's fantasy scores. Now, his fantasy score got bumped up from 23.5 to 26. But the math we did earlier, he's in that 27 range. So this is bumped up. Probably not going to play it at 26. And if I'm not going to play it at 26, I hope he doesn't get it so that the line comes back down and then we can play it again around 23. So just these two at first glance, Herb Jones and Kyle Lowry right now are looking good. Herb Jones got bumped up though because it's at 23. Dylan Brooks always looks like his fantasy score always looks in play, and until it's not, until he fouls out in the third quarter. He got it against Washington though. Yeah. That's sometimes there's just not a whole lot on the board for fantasy score, but those two look good. I might have to dig into those, and if I decide to play them, I'll definitely put it in the chat in the Discord. I'll share my slips. I'll share my very few slips that I played today. I'll put those in the Discord also. But if that's it, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this up. Our Saturday live stream is in the books. And if you miss Thursday, or if you miss Wednesday's live stream or Wednesday's live stream, taking Thursdays off from live streaming, and just for a lot of different reasons, but it's a better balance for me. But making up for the Thursday live stream with a Saturday live stream. So typically we run a little longer. do more on a Saturday, but it also is nice to have one of those streams be on a weekend so that we don't go 2 days without any sort of live content. And then we'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. with a live stream to kick off the new week. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button on your way out. Sub up to the channel. Share the channel with somebody you know. Happy St. Patrick's Day if that's your thing. If you're celebrating tomorrow, have fun. Be safe. Hope all of your player props respect the damn coin, as I always say. Best of luck to you all. MMA tonight. MMA tonight. If you aren't in the Discord, Carrie usually will post projections for MMA props, so you can take a gander at that. Last week, our MMA slip went 5-6. We doubled up, very close to a 25x. So if you like MMA, or if you have anything to contribute to MMA, hit us up in the Discord and just share your thoughts, and let's build out a couple of slips. But that's it. Best of luck to you all. Wish you all a great day, and until Monday's live stream, Chavez is out.